To bring in an educational influencer, I also created a canvas inspired by John Dewey quotes, as his words and perspective began to shift and then eventually mold how I would think about teaching in light of the redesigned curriculum. Moving into Block 2, I started to develop my pedagogical stance by thinking about the type of classroom and environment I want to create for my students. I was inspired after learning about Reggio Emilia classrooms and the suggestion that the environment functions as a third teacher. Learning about the power of our surroundings allowed me to question how I could build community by using environment. The First Peoples principles encouraged me to take the time to learn about where the school is located, adapting the learning depending on the location, and bringing in Indigenous members from the community. I was able to explore concepts that support community, like allowing students to tap into their funds of knowledge, activate prior knowledge, use manipulatives to create thinking classrooms, use reflection processes, and transform a space depending on the location. Block 3 helped me to further explore different supports that I could implement as a teacher to assist and promote learning. This block introduced me to the 7 grandfather teachings. These teachings include love, humility, respect, truth, honesty, wisdom, and bravery, all of which are important to have within a community. I can see myself using these teachings as an opportunity to discuss what is important to the students in the classroom. In Block 4, I was exposed to a whole new way of learning through STEAM. This block provided me with foundational knowledge that aided in my CFE. We were able to explore firsthand the weaving together of cross-curricular content. Here, I was pushed to shift my thinking from problem solving to problem finding. I also realized the importance of encouraging students to learn the skills rather than learn the content. By using structures like design challenges, students have the freedom to explore and take risks, which will allow them to actually use those skills. During my CFE, I had the privilege of working with the Okanagan Regional Library, where I developed STEAM-focused programs, self-directed activities, and lesson templates. I took away how important it is to maintain connections with the community and how they can serve as amazing supports for learning to take place outside of the classroom. All of the librarians expressed a passion to work with teachers and establish connections to further support children's learning. My CFE caused me to think about the importance of communication. One of the challenges that I experienced was needing to shift my language because of the educational jargon we often use, which was unfamiliar to the librarians. I had to think about my audience, change my perspective, and then consider who I was creating the documents for. Block 5 became a time where I was able to reflect on how I have changed and understand how my priorities as a teacher have changed. One of my colleagues shared with me the analogy of teaching and well-being in connection to flying. They expressed that when you are on a flight, if you require oxygen, you are told to set up your own oxygen before helping others.